Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ghostbakes SuperCoach here with our round 11 preview and trade plans, and another shit start to the week already. I think this is in record time because I've just got back from footy training now. Once again, keeping alert with the teams, and had a quick look and saw some carnage that wasn't expected once again. We've done pretty well lately with dealing with as much of it as we can, like players unexpectedly getting dropped or injuries or whatever. But yeah, tonight really stuffed us, and had to do things on the fly, especially because a couple of the trade out targets I was considering were playing tonight. So had to try and do things on the fly, which I hate doing because I'm a very analytical thinker. If you can't tell by now, I just like to have my plan. Did my plan, had it all ready to go, and had a plan B, and then yeah, there's unexpected shit happened, and we're on like plan C, D, whatever the fuck we're on now. I have no idea, but basically, I'll quickly go through the teams and what we end up doing with our trades. Recording this Thursday night, obviously, like I just said, I got back from training, so it's currently the last quarter of the Adelaide Hawthorn game. I watched up until halftime after training, and yeah, pretty much on the way back, missed the third quarter and just saw that Isaac Rankin's out. So he was killing it as well. Didn't get the Finn McGuinness tag like we sort of predicted on Supercoach Pro's channel last night. So yeah, not a great start if you're a Rankin owner, because he was killing it and now obviously ruled out, and I think he's only scored in the mid-60s. So not ideal at all. But we'll quickly go through the team. I want to rocket through this as fast as we can, because obviously most of you guys would have locked your trades in by now. But I hate doing it without knowing what the teams are, because if we made the video earlier today, the trade video would have been worth shit because we've had to swap everything. So Archie Roberts against the Tigers tomorrow night. Obviously, look at his projection. Hopefully he can hit that. Not putting the VC on him. We'll go into VCs and captaincies as usual, obviously, but you try and VC the bloke you think is going to score the most, and I think someone might score just as well or more than that, hopefully. We'll see how we go, but just a better, more reliable matchup. Robert's still young, but let's hope he can get close to that projection, because that'd be a great start for us. Whitfield against the Lions. I think Brisbane don't tag. They don't really put any effort in. They just back their system. So I think Whitfield will have a bounce-back game after being tagged last week. So I think he'll get close to his projected as well. I think a 110 plus. Hopefully he can do a bit of a spike for us. 120, 130 would be nice. But we'll see how we go. I think he'll at least ton up. Jackie Sinclair against Freo. I think this would be a pretty good chance for a ton as well. He's a solid player. 139 last week, bounced back against the Tigers. So I don't think they'll put any effort into him. Even with Naz out, I think that Freo will just back their team in Perth and see how they go. So I think Sinclair will be solid for a ton as well. Lockie Ash, whether he's playing back or mid, I think he's going to score between 90 and 110. I'm putting that in now. That's pretty much all he's scored for me the entire time. So it's a great floor, but just no ceilings lately, and just sort of falling sort of in that Jordan Clark range of last year, not Jordan Clark of this year, because that's a completely different player. But yeah, so I'd bang a 92 projected. I think he'll be between 90 and 110. So could be possibly 4 tons, which I'm praying. Geordie Clark, as we were just starting to speak about, St Kilda leak points to defenders, but Jordan Clark, so does Essendon. Jordan Clark was shit last week. Well, not shit. 91's fine, but if you can't turn up against Essendon, there's problems. So, look, it says projected 104. I'll say you'll get, let's say, a 75. That's all I'm confident in him producing at the moment, because, yeah, he's just not doing much. Lindsay, projected to get a 90 against Collingwood. Solid. Collingwood leak points to defenders too. If he keeps the kick-ins and using his left peg like he does, I think could be looking at another 80 odd. At least he's the best rookie we've got at the moment. So going to hold him through the buys as long as we can. Will Edwards, just a bench cover at the moment. Really, really annoying because we had Dirksen in last week and wasn't named, so we pivoted to Edwards, and now Dirksen's in, and we'll get into our trades, but can't really squeeze him in because I'd have to field either Edwards, and obviously Perez isn't playing, so I don't really want to field Edwards or Dirksen. So, yeah, we'll get into that. Zachy Butters against the Blues. We had a little look at his history. It's not the greatest, but his history at Adelaide Oval is fantastic. No tags, you wouldn't imagine, unless it's a weird sort of first time sort of tagging role from someone. So you back Butters in. Solid VC or captaincy option. Was going to be my captaincy option, but some news today, which you can obviously already see on the screen. We'll get to him when we get to him, but he's a solid VC or captaincy option still, Zach Butters. Probably more a C because he's a Saturday night game. Unless you're VCing him and then you've got Bond. But yeah, Bond against Melbourne, projected really high. Usually plays well against them. Don't know how sore he's had a bit of a longer break now. Getting the last game on Sunday. Hopefully he can push through the pain, and I don't think it's an actual injury. I think he's just really, really sore knee, sore heel. So he'll keep pushing through because that's just the kind of player he is. Not touching him with the captaincy because I have at least 1 week burn rule. If you burn me as a captain, I very rarely will back it up again with the same captain. And but it wouldn't surprise me if he goes a 160 like he can do. Nick Dacos might get tagged. I think if Hoff tags him, he'll do fine. I don't think it'll be a big issue. If they use Murdoch on him or if they send Murdoch to Josh, I'm not quite sure. But that'd be an interesting one to see. I think Dacos can go big. Would I put him as in my top 5 captaincy options in my team? Probably not. But would it really surprise anyone if he scored like a 130 plus against West Coast? Probably not. So I think he's more than capable of doing that. Needs to get his kicking boots back on, hit some targets, needs to kick some goals, and be the Nick Dacos that we all know he can be. Finn Callahan actually has a good record against the Lions. So projected 95. I think he can go more than a ton this week. It's kind of that thing where when you're not expecting it, that's when they'll sort of do it. So, yeah, I think he can turn up this week, at very least do something, because he's not going to have the attention. It's just Brisbane are a solid team. So if he can get on the fly and the Giants can actually move the ball, I think he'll be fine. McCluggage surely can't do worse than last week. I'm sure they're going to bounce back. They got spanked by Geelong at home. I think Fagan would have been in their ears about how they performed as a team and doing the hard stuff. So I think we'll get a lot of effort. McCluggage covers the ground great, so I think when he's out there, he's really going to cover some ground and be free a lot. So especially on turnover, if the orange tsunami isn't working, then McCluggage could be free a lot, and in that transition footy, which he loves, could get on the end of a few. Milan Murdoch, this is a bloke that we were going to trade out, to be honest. I didn't want to. I wanted to give him 1 week, but through DPP and everything like that, the other options to trade out, which would have been Cook or Philippou, just weren't able to do. So original trade plans were going to be McAndrew out and Murdoch out in, depending on who was named, a rookie, which we've gone with Ison at the moment, and we'll get into him in a minute. And Big Brodie Grundy, which we'll get to as well. So Murdoch survives this week because we might as well talk about him now. Caleb Sarong out. Apparently it was meant to be calf tightness. Apparently it's calf strain. I saw this with, like I said, we had 5 minutes. If I had have known that he was going to miss multiple weeks, I thought it was just tightness and they're just not going to play him and he'll be back next week. So had to quickly, I literally I think I did it on the 7:29 I traded out McAndrew and had to swing DPP and all this shit around, and traded out McAndrew and I think at the time I did pick Murdoch, and then when I read the news that Sarong was going to miss multiple, I pivoted to trading him out because I was contemplating trading him out on his bye anyway. But if he's going to miss 2 to 3 and his bye, no chance. You're not that good, mate. You've been shit most of the year, and happy to get off him, and it frees that bye up a bit more for me. So I was thinking about trading him out on that bye anyway. I probably wouldn't have just because of the trades that we've got left, but I didn't hold Noah Anderson for a week, even though it was meant to be 2. I'm not holding Caleb Sarong for 2 to 3, possibly 4 if the bye is that 4th week. So, yeah, but if I had have known earlier straight away that he was missing 2 to 3, I would have done Sarong out and probably Murdoch and kept McAndrew, who started off really well tonight, and I think he had a 0-point third quarter though, or something like that. So not sure how he's doing now. I'm over tonight's game. I'm off to a shit start, which you'll see in a minute. So yeah, keeping Murdoch just because Anderson also for the Pies just gets dropped. Unlucky. I don't know why they would be keeping Ed Allen in and not Anderson. This is really fucked up. So I had to try and keep Murdoch as a mid because, yeah, not much else I can do. At least I've got mid cover, whereas if I traded a forward out, I would have had to trade a forward in, and the only option was Banfield, and I just, saw that he was last named on the bench. I know that doesn't mean much, but Ison was at least named on the field and has the 75, so I just feel like he's the safer score. Keeping Murdoch. Reshko, I think, will be fine. He should score hopefully around that 60 against Essendon, so we'll field him. So now with the Anderson loop, we're gonna we can use him as a loop, which we're gonna do, and we'll see what Sam Cummings scores tomorrow, and if not, we'll be playing Ison on field, which it throws my planning and my structure off, which I fucking hate. So I've got more money for next week, and I've just got to have a look at what I can do. I'll probably do a double upgrade now. I've got about 170k in the bank. So if I do a downgrade and then 2 upgrades to make up for Sarong not being here this week is probably the way I'll go. So, yeah. But this week, who knows what I'm going to score. So we'll see what Cummings scores. Otherwise, Ison will get a run in his first game. Pretty sure I'll just keep Ison. I don't think that there's other rookies to worry about. Grundy had to come in. I needed a ruck, obviously, for McAndrew because McAndrew was going to go out next week anyway. So why would I wait a week when he can spike this week was my main thought. So had to get him in. And super happy. Hopefully he can just do the job. I don't want any more stupid carnage and crap and bullshit. If he gets injured, if he scores like a fucking 80, I will quit this game because my patience is getting tested severely. Trying to have fun and laugh it off, but it's actually really starting to piss me off. So when we're doing horribly and we're making logical things that make all the sense in the world, and then we just don't have luck. We have no luck. The SuperCoach gods, if they exist, hate us. They loved us last year, hate us this year. So we're just plodding along. So Grundy, please just be the one this week. We might not even be able to use him as a VC, to be honest, because I don't know if I will. Actually, I will because I've got Anderson, so that's fine. But yeah, Gorn. News that Tim English is still out, which we pretty much figured that was going to be the case with Tim English. So Gorn, even if he is sharing the ruck role, which he didn't last week too much, he had majority of the ruck to himself. Even if it is a split, but if he's rucking by himself against a Englishless Bulldogs, he will go nuts. I think he could get a 130 plus easy again. It might even outscore Grundy with that matchup, depending on how much he rucks. So pretty happy with the VC and C option there as a fallback. So we'll see how we go. But we think Grundy's the one that's going to score the most. So, and we've got good options with Roberts and other players too. So it's not the worst shout. ZZ has been named. He's on the extended bench though, so I don't think he'll come in. If he does, it'll actually be okay because, like I said, we've got Anderson as a loop now. So ZZ could, hopefully make some money because that'd be nice, especially since Oscar Steen's out. Then we go to the forwards. Christian Petrarca hopefully bounces back. There's talk he could have Foz tag him. I think he would just manhandle Foz, but and Foz would have to be going mid forward. I think it's just easier if Foz was to tag a Noah Anderson type. Anderson can get tagged and do shit when he does get tagged. So I think Petrarca could go off. Obviously, like I said, already touched on our VC and Cs, so I wouldn't go there. The next bloke, though, Harry Sheasel. Gold Coast don't tag. They don't really do anything to stop opposition players, especially the mids. So Sheasel could have a big day ahead of him. So let's see how he goes. But I'm pretty sure he'll have a bounce back because he had a poor game last week when the Crows smashed him. So I think he'll go 120 around that range and could possibly be more. Zach Bailey, he's been dog shit since we got him. Let's just hope a 77 would actually be his highest score that he got for us. But I want a ton. Brought you in, mate. Do your job. Fucking just get the ball and score for the love of God. Like, what a waste. Flanders, apparently he was, rumours he was going to be a bit sore as well. It's just fucked. But he's travelled. Apparently, I think it's his 100th game. He's in good form. If he can, get those CBAs or sit off halfback and rack up the ball, another 100 plus would be great from him. So we'll keep him, and hopefully he can do the job like he has the last 2 weeks. Fucking Braden Cook. I wanted to trade him out. I was pretty set on it. I'd rather keep Murdoch. I would have rather have kept. It was either McAndrew or Bruin. I just thought McAndy had the worst matchup, which I'll get into when I talk to Bruin as well. But, Cook started shit, and I had a feeling he'd be shit. But if I traded out a forward, I would have had to trade in, like I said, Banfield or another forward, and there just was none that I liked. So, it is what it is. Not much I can do about it. It's just, I probably should have tried to loop him, but logically I thought Lombard could go shit, Philippou could go shit, so I'd rather loop those guys and just see how they go. But yeah, we knew this was going to happen. He's going next week anyway, regardless. I just don't want him to lose too much coin, which he's I haven't refreshed this since the start of the last quarter, so who knows what the fuck he ends up on. If he can scrounge his way to, he was on 25 at three-quarter time. Like, if you just have one really big quarter and get past 50 and get close to his break even, I'll take it. But who knows? I don't know if that score's accurate. I haven't refreshed the page, so who the fuck knows? But Cook is cooked, and he was been a great rookie, been one of the best rookies. But yeah, I wish I could have purged him this week, just couldn't. So yeah, we're gonna loop. Philippou plays tomorrow night, so we'll loop him with Lombard and see how that goes. At least we get a second crack having Steen there. And like I said, Steen could be our loop as well for our captaincy if Grundy goes off. So we do have those options, even though ZZ's been named. So I do hope ZZ actually plays now. Get me some money, for fuck's sake. Steen, obviously, like I said, loop out for the year. And Tanner Bruin, just thought that no Warple, they hadn't changed the team, so the CBA mix should be pretty much the same. He's obviously not going to get tagged by Jordan or anyone like that. That'd go to Baz or Holmes. So I just figured I'd rather be keeping him or McAndy as one of those sort of bigger, one of those blokes that have a bigger ceiling, have gone 190s before and have been pretty consistent, other than one or two games with like a 50 here and there. Because the other players have done worse. So I just thought Bruin is a good one to hold. Plus, like I said, McAndy's out next week anyway. Bruin you can at least hold through the buys if you need to. Obviously, try to upgrade where you can. But he's the last buy. So if you are planning on holding him through the buys for cover, I don't mind that. I don't think he'll drop too much in price. I think he'll sort of hover around the 370 to 400k mark. So realistically, I'm willing to, if it drops like 5-6k or whatever it would be, like, so be it. But that is our preview, and like I said, it's already started. We're off to a shit start thanks to Cook. So let's just see what happens. Like I said, it's luck. We'll see how much luck we have. I don't have high expectations, but we do have some good players with some good matchups. Sarong out just fucked things. But like I said, we're looking at trading him out. Just we don't have his scores this week, so we'll loop and see how we go. Would have liked to have traded Dirksen in instead of Edwards last week, and I could have just held him and he would have played, would have had extra cash. But Edwards is probably a better scorer, to be honest, and Dirksen, I think, is in for Wiedering, and Wiedering won't be out long. So if he only scores a little bit, we might be able to pick him up still at like a 130k or something like that if we want. But there's a few options next week. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoy the video. Sorry if I'm a bit flat about it. Just shit start to the week gets me pissed off from the start, and we'll try and be positive and try and bounce back. But hope your trades weren't stuffed up by any last minute team news. Hope everyone you trade in scores well. I hope your team does well. Good luck to everybody. And we'll obviously see you guys for our next video with a review. But please give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Ghostbakes SuperCoach, and on Twitter /X, it's Ghost_Bakes. Give us a follow on there as well. But yeah, guys, have a good weekend, and we will see you for the round review. Thanks, guys.